What's up, brothers and sisters, my friends, my people? Sorry for the late video. Miss Wanda, who many of you guys have known as we've had, hundreds of people stay at the house over the years. My housekeeper, she's also the lady that cooks for me and opens my mail. I mean, she's like my second mom. She's been with me for 10 years. She's been in hospital for the last couple weeks in a coma. So I am without sustenance, of course. And then, I'm trying to take care of things for her and stuff like that. So I was tied up, but I'm back in action. And I, of course, teach class at night and stuff, too. So I apologize for the late video, but we got things to do. So let's get to it. The market stayed strong today. We had this small flush out for a second. And we talked about this in yesterday's video, right? That we wanted to see a weak open. What I mean by weak opens, I wanted to see that flush out. And then I thought that we would have some longs. The indexes didn't do much, but the individual action in the stocks was fantastic. And so this is just another instance of many instances last few months where the indexes don't matter. Once the dip was bought in the indexes, and even though it didn't go up much, stocks started firing off one by one. Dude, everything was hot. Nuclear was hot. Space was hot. Semiconductors, even after the nasty news from ASML, which trended down today, was still hot. So ASML was trending down. Nvidia still held. So it looks like we shrugged off that news. It looks like yesterday's dip in the QQQs was probably just a little bit of an overbought pullback. We held into the 20 SMA, and it's all systems in a go. And frankly, guys, there were so many stocks running. Dude, we traded so much today in the chat room. Dude, I mean, SMAR, OKLO, like NNE. Boy, I pikered this one. We'll talk about this one later. I'll have nightmares about it. I left a small car or two on the table on this one. Dude, I sold this thing up here to go to the beach because it's like such a nice day out. I kept trading and looking at the water, and then I came back and I ran like 250 more, and I'm like, but what can you do? So let's get into this. The Qs looks good. It held the 20 SMA. We needed that pull. The SPY held the 9 EMA. Once again, we needed that pull. If yesterday didn't pull and we had this update today, the market would have been extremely overbought. It would have been in the buenos. And then, look, the IWM is starting to clear out some ranges. Now, it is overbought too. But, dude, this is what you want to see. You want to see it clear this and then really attack this. That's when we'll know that we're just in a true all-time bull market. We're in a bull market right now, and it's a top 10% bull market, 15% bull market. When this busts over this zone and starts attacking this, it may be in non-COVID bull markets. Toss out the COVID bull market because the dumbest people made the most money during that time. It was amazing. But non-COVID bull markets, this will be one of the better ones, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. And think about this. The news stinks. And the market still goes up. Everybody's like migrants, election, Kamala, Biden, Trump, this, interest rates, inflation, right? Soft landing, hard landing, no landing, right? We just hear all of this stuff. And none of that really matters. The market is telling us it don't care, that it has other things going on. And so, right, Japan unwinding, all of this stuff that we thought was huge. We thought inflation was huge. We thought the yen carry trade was huge. We thought the budget deficits was huge, right? Like, I thought that. I'm like, fuck, we're paying $2 trillion a year for interest, right? I thought that was huge. We thought the Iran war was huge. The Israel thingamajiggy was huge. We thought all of this was huge. The Trumpster being in jail, not in jail. Kamala being this, the coup, Biden. I don't even know these terms, right? Like, we thought it was all huge, and here we are. Face to face, like a couple of silver spoons. So the market is doing what it's doing, baby. So this is the best bull market of all time because it's shrugging off everything. It's telling you something. And so we have to be mindful of that. Now, look, there's some hot stocks today. I made mistakes. I've made mistakes. But there's still a lot of goodness coming on. Look, this OKLO, I think long term this is a beast. If it gaps up tomorrow into this high, I'll probably look at it for a short. Only if it gaps up into this high. I don't even know if that high really means that much, but because it's just getting a little bit long in the tooth. Now, if it opens weak tomorrow, like say it drops down a couple bucks tomorrow, I think the dip gets bought up on this. This theme is not going away, people. I repeat, this theme is not going away. Dude, this SMAR, I had this at the open. I bungled this up a little bit too, but oh man, look at this thing. It's breaking. It broke its IPO high, or I guess SPAC high, right? Big volume, 40 million shares. Like that's it's a buenos, it's a buenos, it's a noches, it's a bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. It's amazing, right? So, week open, we red to green this. If it gaps up, I'm leaving this alone because they're getting a little long in the tooth. Liu is also, I don't know if there's a uranium company or a nuclear company, but potato, they're the same. 26%, a little bit more steady Eddie. I think you can keep this on your watch list too. It's got an attack to 90 here. Once again, if it gaps up, I probably won't trade it. But if it has a week open, I'm interested. Hey, Lactation Nation. The Lactation Nation. So, you have big base breakout here. This thing used to be 40 bucks. They signed a deal with GM for 600 and something million, 625. Now, those deals are always fraught with minor details. When they say 625, right, there's a lot of if, ands, or buts in those things, but let's just say they got a couple hundred million. I'm just making shit up, right? The market cap is pretty low on this thing. Like, I think it's got more juice. And frankly, for me, now I know this sounds a little stupid, but frankly, lithium and uranium, they rhyme. So, the uranium stocks are going. Rhymes with lithium. Traders are pretty stupid. Hey man, I'm into it. I think it could get picked up. Look, and it sounds like I'm being flippant, but do you remember when the Long Island iced tea company added blockchain to their name and the stock went from like $1 to 50 or something, and then ended up going bankrupt after the owners sold all the shares? But they just added. They made Long Island iced teas, like some pre-mixed drink of Long Island iced tea, which are disgusting. They were hot in the 90s, I ain't gonna lie, but they're disgusting now, right? But they added blockchain to their name and the stock went nuts, right? So, lithium, uranium, they kind of rhyme. I'm into it. Let's add this. And I'm being flippant. The pattern itself looks great, right? You have 41 million shares. Breakout, pull back into the bone zone. Boom, right? Bone zone. First pullback into the bone zone is probably the best day trading setup you can get. ASTS finally coming out of, I would call this a wedge pattern-ish, right? Which is like, okay, you have this kind of downtrending channel, and now you're starting to come out of its first ranges on this. Dude, space stocks are hot. I got a space list for you guys in a second. Hey, Wolf Nation, we talked about this in yesterday's video. If it holds the breakout bar, it's probably going to ramp. And today it ramps. If we get a week open on this, I'm looking for a take out of this. We got to be in this. This price range right now, even though I like to trade large caps, this price range right now is caliente. It's hot. It's zesty. It's juicy. It's everything you want it to be. AMSC, we've been putting this on the watch list for many, many days. Ooh, that was very Trumpy right there, right? Many, many days. Many days I was putting this on the watch list because I'm fantastic. I'm great. I'm good peoples here. And so now, 13%, 2 million shares volume. Add this on your list for day two, baby. RKLB, we've been putting this on the list every day too. It broke its swing trading pattern. So guys, there's a difference between swing trading and day trading. Swing trading, you got to get day one. So today, we've been putting on the list for a while for swing trade. It broke the swing trade pattern. Now, Once you break the swing trade pattern, you can keep day trading it, though, for 3, 4, 5 days usually. So this looks fantastic. It's good God-fearing Christian people right there. It's got a nice look to it. Do you guys notice? And space stocks are hot. I want you to put this RDW on the watch list. I want you to put this RDW on the watch list. And then look, I got some space stocks here, right? You got ASTS, you got RKLB, you got RDW, and Mintos, I don't think is anything. The actual company Space, great name too. That looks pretty good. Lunar starting to, might break out here soon. And by the way, if anybody has any other space stocks, let me know. I did the best I could, but there are probably a couple others out there. Now, Reddit, that's beautiful, right? Let's just, it's more of a zone of love anyways, but you got a W pattern here, a W pattern and an IPO breakout. Dude, that is, it's hot, it's caliente. I love it. Like, this is a good look to it. I prefer to, I'm looking for like a little bit of a rest day and then a break. I won't day trade this. I'll probably swing trade this because it's just a thin bastard. It's got a spread. Now, look, for spreads don't matter for most people. I have an infinite amount of bad habits of over the years, and spreads get me in trouble. Like, they do. I just, one of my bad habits is like especially at the open, I tend to market order things, right? I get all pumped up and I'm always trading like, multiple things, right? So then, like, okay, you buy 3,000-4,000 shares of Reddit. Dude's got a 40-cent spread on it. You just lost $1,200 before you even made the trade, right? Or finished the trade. So it's a little bit tricky. So I try to, when I enter this one, it'll be for a swing trade. And then UPST is flagging out here over the breakout spot. Guys, love this one. It's got 70 on the dot. It's got 70 in the cards. Mark my words. It's got 70 in the cards. Bumble. Dude. It's a little bit of a thin bastard. I've been watching it. And you know what? I don't know. The Indian in me, I think, just keeps putting this on my watch list because I think I've probably spent like 10, 15 grand on those Bumble boosts, the profile boost, the super likes. They had like that one super boost. They had all sorts of stuff going on. I spent so much money over the years on those lonely Friday nights. When you're sipping those wines, watching the Rachel McAdams movies, wondering when I'm going to find my Rachel McAdams. And speaking of Rachel McAdams, I messaged her on Instagram once. She didn't reply back to me, so I don't watch her movies anymore. But, man, I thought I had a chance because, I had found out a few years ago she was married. So I reached out to her. I sent her a nice, heartfelt message. And I was like, hey, Rachel, I'm also, older than the typical marrying age of what people are in the Notebook type of movies. So are you, even though you were in those movies. And I think you're beautiful. I think we would make beautiful babies. And, she didn't reply back to me. So then I waited like a couple days. And I did like the question mark thing. She didn't reply back to me. And then I was like, all right, fine. It's your loss. Because I'm Canal Desai. I'm the brown Brad Pitt. Here we go. Right? And she didn't reply back to that either. And then I was sad. So I gave up my hope on that. But whatever. Man, I love Rachel McAdams. But I'm not watching her movies anymore in protest. Because she could have at least like replied back to me and be like, hey, bro. Not interested, I used to hook up with Ryan Gosling. You don't even got hair. You got a mustache. Not my thing. I would have been like, yeah, that's true. But then I would have been like, but I'm tall, dark, and handsome. And she would have been like, yeah, but once again, I was with Ryan Gosling. And I'd been like, yeah, but he's like 5'6". And then we would have went back and forth. And then at some point I would have been able to woo her. And it would have been nice, right? So, I didn't get that aspect of it either. So here we are. Dash 150, wham, bam, 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 bam. It's hot, right? And then I got one more that's like a little bit more speculative. But look at the level on this thing. Right? Look at the level on this thing. It's like, I think it's kind of like 11. But before it even gets 11, I think it's going to bust loose. So, Watch this flag here, and I think that takes it into the bigger breakout, and then that takes it into the bigger breakout. Hey, on the other side, on the big cap stocks, Nvidia looks great. I mean, the dip was bought. It's about to break out. I mean, we know it's going to break out. Everything in this market breaks out, right? MU is looking zasty caliente. And that's how I kind of realized that the ASML news was maybe a one-shot thing. Because this MU, which has been the turd Zilla of the group, right? Just ORB, it had a nice day, 5%. Look, dude, the calls were cooking, like everything was cooking on this thing. Dude, look at that, 400%, 300%. Like, that's good God-fearing Christian people, man. All right, cool. I love you guys. Peace.